There are three basic controls on a car. There's the brake, which you use to slow the car down, but that also transfers the weight to the front, making the front end heavy and the rear end light. There's the accelerator, making the car go faster, but also transferring the weight to the rear, making the front end light and the rear end heavy. And there's the steering wheel that transfers the weight from side to side. Now, the accelerator could also do something else that is more sneaky, as I like to call it. It could also transfer weight to the front if you lift your foot suddenly off the accelerator to slow down. And that's one thing that people forget a lot. A lot of people take this course because they lost control, say, on ice, and they are certain that they didn't do anything. The most common scenario is the following. I was merging with the highway on the 400, say, and I was going in a straight line, then I hit the ice and my car spun out of control. I didn't do a thing. Now let's back up a little bit. A normal human being getting a car on ice would be at minimum uncomfortable, sometimes panicky. In any case, they would tense up. When you tense up, your limbs have a tendency to come back to center, fetal position. So your foot lifts off the accelerator, and at the same time, because you tense your arms up, you have a tendency to move the steering a little bit. So combine that. Lift your foot off the accelerator and move the steering wheel abruptly in either direction on ice, and you spin. So you might not remember doing anything, but you did do something to upset the balance of the car. So remember that. The accelerator has a sneaky side. Lifting your foot off the accelerator suddenly will transfer the weight to the front. And we'll look at that a little bit later in oversteer. In any case, let's look at the relationship between the three commands. Let's look at the CAM circle. The CAM circle was invented by a German professor called CAM, and it allows us to look at a graphic to see the amount of grip that is possible with a given tire on a given surface on a given day. Now, we've established that if we brake, we transfer the weight to the front, generating up to 100% traction, friction, or grip in braking force. If you keep pressing on the brake pedal and you exceed the 100%, you skid, or you get the ABS engaged. If you accelerate, you generate up to 100% traction, friction, or grip in acceleration force. If you keep pressing harder on the accelerator and you have no traction control, you do a smoke show. If that's what you're aiming for, you're on the way. If you have traction control comes into play and tries to bring the car back within the limit that is available that day on that surface.